It is finally time to review this, the GeekaWhat Pro Racing Chair.
Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put...
So let's get straight into the review. Now, I'm probably not overly qualified, I'm not a chair expert or got a degree in chairs, if that's a thing. However, I do sit in chairs, especially in front of computer screens, for a prolonged period of time. So if that makes me qualified to review this, then, you know, let's just go for it. So let's start it off with a physical overview. On the bottom we have 5 caster wheels which scooch around smoothly across basically any surface. My room's got the thickest of carpets, and when I say thick I mean it's like standing on cushions, and this chair copes with it absolutely fine. We've also got a really solid metal base which holds the wheels simply click in when you get it. Then connecting the wheeled base to the seat of the chair, the armrest, the back, all that good stuff is your hydraulic pipe or hose, if you will, which takes the chair up and down, and I'll go over that functionality later on. Seat-wise, it is very comfortable. Now, these comes in a range of colour schemes. However, I chose the predominant primary black colour and the secondary red colour, and I have to say I was very impressed. You've got your primary black colour and it is very comfortable. It isn't leather, but it is fabric. Now, to some people that may be a bit of a downside, to some people that may be a bit of an upside. Personally, I prefer fabric because it's just squidgy and I think it feels softer. I find leather a bit too slippy, and I think it can look very greasy as well at times, although this isn't as wipeable as a leather surface would be. However, you can get these chairs in a leather option and colour scheme. So let's take a look at the armrests. So the armrests have a load of different functionality. The armrests go both up and down, as you can see on your screen now. They also scooch left and right very slightly, and whilst that may seem like a weird thing to be able to do, it is actually surprisingly helpful and surprisingly nice. We can also tilt the armrests into 3 positions, so we can angle them inwards as though we've kind of got a bit of an arrow going on. We can keep them fully straight, or we can angle them outwards as if we're kind of pointing away from one another. The parallel lined kind of look. We've also got adjustment to how far forward or back the armrests are. Now, the base that they stay on is in the same position. It's a static base. The armrests simply slide across these rails back and forward, as you can see in your B-roll now, to facilitate for wherever you want to put these. And it also means as well that you could put these so far back that you use these as kind of an extension armrest to your desk and that kind of thing. Armrest wise, they're only plastic, however they are very comfortable. I wouldn't have thought a cushioned kind of finish would be necessary here, and the plastic is super comfortable. Now, before I go any further, if you do want to pick this up, make sure to use my link in the description. You can also get 5% off with code GEEKA. So now we've covered the armrest, let's move on to the back of the chair. We have a fabric back with this kind of bucket style seating that you'd see in a racing car, which is where that kind of racing chair name kind of originates from, and the style it kind of inherits. So if we look here, we can see we have a cutout here and a cutout here, and that's kind of the look you tend to get in like the racing cars and that kind of thing. We also get lumbar support. Now, the lumbar support goes up and down. It's simply on elastic. You thread the elastic through these back holes that I just referred to. It goes underneath the chair, slits through the slots between the seat and the cushion. It is a tiny bit of a tight fit, but it does go through fine, and then the clips clip on at the back. It goes all the way up and all the way down, but I prefer mine in a slightly lower position, and it's kind of lumbar support for your lower back. Now, what about this top cushion that you can see here? Now, this top cushion is fully removable, much like the other cushion. It simply runs off of elastic, and you can see the GeekaWhat logo up the top here, as well as on the cushion. I did find this cushion slightly irritable to my neck to begin with, and that would be the first negative that I cite. But of course, it was fresh off the production line, fresh out of the factory, and eventually I got used to it. The cushions appeared to just kind of soften up or readjust to my neck, and now I can't sit on this chair without using the cushion at a neck or lower head level. In terms of design, as I already mentioned, you can get this in a load of different colours that you can see on your screen now. But the use of red stitching and then the red fabric as well is I find quite a nice combination. And going for that primary black colour is super cool. You can also see we've got these lines, these arrows kind of pointing upwards, once again sort of replicating that racing kind of bucket seat kind of look. But what is a chair if it doesn't go up, down, lean back, all that good stuff? Now, as you've seen from some of the fancy intros of my videos, this thing goes back. Oh yes, it goes back. It goes back to a lay flat, not bed mode, because they don't advise you sleep in the chair. However, I could very much so easily sleep in the chair. It goes all the way back, and they advise that you keep your feet on the ground if you are leaning your chair all the way back. Keep them on the ground just to maintain stability. We also have up and down, of course, so the chair can go down, and of course up, which I need to like propel myself upwards. And the chair does have a mode where you're able to actually tilt it back. Now, one slight possible negative of this mode, not necessarily a negative, is that the chair will only go back and only lock into place at the 90-degree position. So at the most far forward kind of angle for the chair, only then will it lock into place, i.e. not move back. So if I unlock it, you can see the chair goes all the way back. But if I lock it in, you can see the chair kind of holds put. And it would be nice if you could kind of lock this position, for example, or lock this position, as opposed to having to go back down to the kind of the full sort of 90-degree start chair in order to lock it and not go back and forth. However, the option's there to lock it, unlock it, and that's simply done by pushing the lever in or outwards. In terms of assembly, as I already kind of glossed over previously, the thing was simple. You get like a really small sheet that just goes over everything, and at first I thought, a 200, 150 pound chair, and you're giving me a piece of paper that looks like that. But it took no longer than 10 minutes, and no beefy instruction manual is really necessary. And it tends to be that if you have an instruction manual, you are less likely to read it and less likely to take in the information that you need to know. So let's wrap it up with some positives, negatives, should you buy this chair, etc, etc. But before I go any further, if you would like to purchase the chair, I really do recommend this chair. You can use my US and UK links in the description, and you can also get 5% off with code GeekaWhat. That's GEEKA, code GeekaWhat, 5% off. That is on your screen now. But positive, negative ratings, comfort ratings, all that kind of stuff. Now, this chair makes me just want to fall back and fall asleep, if I'm fully honest. I love the design, and it's so comfortable. Having proper back support has really helped me, because I have had back pains before from sitting on that crappy IKEA chair that I had, or any office chair without kind of back support for prolonged periods of time, which really isn't healthy. So get yourself a chair with solid back support. These cushions are great. The elastic I did think was going to snap at one point, and maybe a thicker piece of elastic here may have been nice. However, they haven't snapped on me yet, and the elastic kind of hasn't threaded, or it hasn't been stretched, or kind of cut down, or it twindled away, if you will. So from that perspective, I can't moan. Well, not yet anyway. I really love the bucket kind of seating design, and what I really like is it isn't too big that it is going to intrude everywhere. Now, I have quite a big desk. However, the actual kind of seating area to get into it is slightly on the smaller side, and this chair fits in perfectly. The use of being able to remove the armrest is great as well. If you don't want the armrest there, I think it's probably something that I'm going to do, purely because I've got used to a chair without armrest, and going to one with armrest is slightly kind of weird. But that's all stuff that I'm going to have to get used to over time and kind of experiment with, and all that kind of stuff. But this chair is incredibly solid. One thing I didn't like was these little plasticky corner brackets. It only happens on one of them, but it just is able to go back and forward and twindle about, as you can see in the B-roll. The other one doesn't do so, because it's got connectors sticking out the side, so it stops that, and the two plastic bits above it secure absolutely perfectly. That's just that plastic can look slightly cheap. That's just all down to personal interpretation and that kind of thing. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, rate, and show some love for GT Omega chairs, because my butt, my back, my body has been loved by this GT Omega chair. 5% off with code GeekaWhat, my US and UK links in the description below. And as always, we'll see you in the next GeekaWhat video.